Good morning or good evening or whenever you're listening to this, and welcome back to the first episode of the Balancing Healthy podcast for 2026. You guys, I am so excited to be here. I'm feeling really refreshed. I'm feeling really energized, and I'm just really excited to be bringing more content to you guys. I had a bit of a break. Ended up being about 4 weeks, which was unintentional if you listen to my last episode, but you know what? It was well needed, and I'm feeling really good about this year and the episodes that I'm bringing out, at least the ones I've got planned for the next couple of months, couple of weeks, and just, bringing fresh energy, because obviously this podcast is Balancing Healthy, right? And it's all about, health and nutrition and mindset and all the things, but something that I found myself doing last year, and if you listen to the last episode, so previous episode, you would know, but I just found like I was not as balanced in like my life, as in like work life kind of thing. And I just got really caught up in a lot of things. And I'm really excited to strip that back this year. And I think it's also universal because, again, a lot of people that I was speaking to at the end of last year / at the start of this year, whether it's clients, friends, all the kind of thing, I think there was this universal like burnout last year, and not even in a sense of like work has completely cooked me. I feel like it was a bit of like life burnout as well. And I'm gonna say that's a thing. I think I'm really excited for the fresh energy. I don't know if it is that thing of like new year, new me, or if there was a full moon and like I'm not really good at the spiritual stuff, but I do follow a few spiritual girlies and I'm kind of like into it a little bit. And, they were sharing about the full moon on the 3rd of Jan. I remember it was Saturday, the 3rd of Jan, because I remember like after that is when I felt this shift in energy, like in myself, in clients, in just other humans in general. And it's a really good, a really positive shift. So I'm really feeling so good for this year. But we're going to dive into that a little bit today. Firstly, as well, this is what I'm going to call the start of season 3 for the podcast, because obviously I did take that extended break. And so I'm really excited to, be back in your ears. Of course, if there's any topic requests, if there's any guests, if there's anything you want to hear more about, even if it's something about my life, I don't know if anyone cares about that, but anything you want to hear more about, like send me a DM or leave a comment below and we'll talk about it on the podcast. I'm really, like I said, excited. I've got quite a few guests lined up. I want to do some client episodes as well, so you guys can get more of an insight into what it's like in my world. I've just got a couple of really good episodes the next couple of weeks planned intentionally for this time of year to really help you, I guess, ease into the year, take some of the pressure off as well. So I'm really excited for that. If you are watching the video, you might notice the quality is a little bit better, which I'm very excited for. I don't know, like I'm still trying to figure out this camera in a sense of like, just the logistical kind of things. I don't know what to call it, like the lighting and like the warmth, and like I'm not too good with that stuff yet, but I'm trying to figure it out. But I'm so excited because I can actually see myself in this camera and the quality is still amazing, which is good because, again, I won't get into it, but just having some struggles with when I was filming on my laptop and then on my phone and then storage and then exporting. There's a whole thing. And as a little Boxing Day present, or Christmas present if you will, I bought myself this new camera, which I always wanted because it's just a really like small, compact camera that I can just take with me. I'm going to try and quote unquote vlog. Obviously I have YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, you know I have YouTube. I'm going to try and like maybe vlog some things this year because I've got a lot in the works and I just want it for the memes. And I'm like, if I can just film it, edit it, store it somewhere, I'm more than happy with that. Because I feel like technology is ever changing. And I literally was thinking back to like when I was a kid and we had those, it's called VHS, like the thick videotapes. And I'm like, you've got those now, but like, how do you even play them anymore? Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I just like that I can have it stored somewhere. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. But for this episode, we are getting into 2026 vision board, not really goals. I want this to be more of like how I've set the tone for 2026 because, again, if you listen to my previous episode, which was 4 weeks ago now, I was talking about 2025 and like my kind of wrap up and how I was really struggling with a lot of things. And, it's been 4 weeks. I can't remember how much detail I went into, but I know that there was like a lot of me not feeling my best and a lot of me just kind of flying through the year, like not really sure like what the hell was happening, when it was happening. Like it was just like a bit of a whirlwind and I don't want that to happen again this year. So we're going to talk into that in a second. But something I will say, which will tie into it nicely, my mentor actually said to me yesterday, and I'd already done my vision board. I've already set the tone, like I've already done all these things. And she actually said to me without even knowing what I'd done, she was like, Sarah, I think last year you were trying to get a lot of clarity on certain things, like, just trying to work through a lot, get that clarity. Oh, my laptop's going to die. Get that clarity. And this year it's like, now that you know what it is, like now you can just focus on that more. And I'm like, you said that perfectly, because the way I've set the tone for this year is focusing on doing more of the things I love. And I think it's one of those things that we can get so caught up in, trying to achieve more and be more and get really caught up in the numbers. Like, I want to achieve this goal by this date. And like, whilst that is perfect and fine, and I love having goals, and like I still have goals, it is just taking that pressure off the numbers and like allowing things to happen a bit more organically, like still working towards it, but not having to change things every 2 seconds, which is so just interesting, because obviously I preach that with, your training and nutrition, like keep it as simple as possible. But then when it came to life and business and things, I'm like, why? Not even that I was changing things, but it's just like constantly auditing myself. Like, how can I do this better when I haven't even just like let it be what it is? Like, always trying to be that perfectionist without just actually just trying and doing it, if that makes sense. So anyway, we are going to get into this. I've got my phone with me. I'm so excited that I can have my phone and like record this now, because I've got my 2026, I nearly said 2024, my 2026 vision board right in front of me. I've actually just opened it on Canva because I've actually got the same, like I use the same template and I just duplicate it and then I like change my photos and stuff. So I've actually got my 2024, 2025 and 2026 vision board on here. And it's really, really cool to see the kind of evolution with this. So 2024, like they're all kind of similar, I'll say. But the intention, I think, behind them, at least this year, is definitely a lot different. So what I've done is instead of being like, okay, what's something new that I can achieve this year? I've looked at, okay, what were the things that actually really lit me up last year? What has made me feel so good? Like when I reflect on the whole year, when I did like my reflections every single month, I was like, what are the things that lit me the fuck up? And how can I do more of that? And how can I bring more of that to my life? Because again, like, it's great to have goals and it's great to always be moving the needle, but how can we bring joy into it and how can we have fun in it? And it's this thing of like I always say with my training, I'm like, okay, we'll do, 2-3 sessions a week. So it leaves you space to do other stuff, other hobbies, other things that bring you joy. And it's even something I'm doing with my training this year. So actually, let's dive into my 2026 vision board because I've got my health stuff on here. So let's start with the health stuff. So literally, it is just a few little photos. So like I said, I've looked at what I enjoyed last year and what I want to do more of this year. So my 2026 vision board is actually all except 2 of them. I'm pretty sure looking at this, all except 2 of them are actually photos that I took last year. So again, it's that thing of like, this brought me joy and I want more of this. So again, for like my health. So I still have that goal of like eventually doing an unassisted pull up. I still have that goal of like, I want to get back into running and do some running events because, again, when I did my one running event the year before last, before I got injured, it was actually so much fun. So, like, I want to do more stuff like that. I want to have more of that. Like, yes, I'm going to do my gym 3 days a week and I'm still going to train hard in my gym sessions, but I want to have my extra days as like, maybe I'll do a 4th gym session and I'll just kind of do what I feel like in the moment, or maybe I'll go for a run, or I don't know, maybe I'll go for a dance class or a swim, or like whatever the kind of thing is. Like, I want the extra activity to be more fun, hobbies, things that bring me joy. So I've got a photo of me doing a pull-up, like it's with a band because she's not quite there yet, but doing a pull-up. I've got a photo of me and my friend at a running event. I've got like a photo of like this really wholesome breakfast I had at a retreat. It's like, like eggs and avo and bagel and fruit and like just like, again, bringing more, like I eat whole foods anyway, but to me that kind of represents less of numbers when I'm eating. So again, I'm taking a step back from tracking my food. I'm not like, I'm still tracking and stuff, more so from a point of like making sure I'm having enough protein and fiber kind of things. I definitely always have enough fats and carbs. I'm really good at balancing out my plate, but because my goal is still to be strong and grow muscle, because I'm nearly 29. I still want to get as much muscle as possible. So just prioritizing those key things where I can, if that makes sense. So whilst I know how to track and I can easily track and eat intuitively, I just want to make sure that I'm giving my body the best chance of building the muscle, recovering, and like still doing what I preach and what I practice and what I want to be doing, but also just like taking a bit of the stress out of it as well, if that makes sense. So that kind of symbolizes that to me. And then the other kind of thing I've put there is actually a photo of me and my friends on a like a mountain, like we did a hike when we went away. That kind of ties into, actually I will bring that into the next point. I'm like, there's so many ways I can take this. The next point about like traveling more, adventuring more, like having a bit more freedom. So like, again, things like going camping with my friends, like brings me so much joy. Just like hanging out with them brings me so much joy, and like doing more things like that. And again, in classic me style, we've already got a trip booked for June to go camping. No, we're not going camping. Sorry, we're not going camping. We're going away and then like doing some hikes and stuff in that area. And a new place I've never been before, so it's a bit of an adventure. Me as well. Classic me being like, let me pull it back and like be less stressed. And then as I'm recording this, I have got 3 trips in the next 2 weeks. But I don't feel too stressed. Like, it's things that I've wanted to do. So like my trip that I'm going on tomorrow morning, which by the time this is live, I'll already be there. Like, you know, my mum was just like, this guy that I work with has a house. I'm not going to say where, but he has this house at this holiday destination. And he was like, if you ever want to use it, like, just let me know. So it's like me, her, my brother, my sister-in-law, and my niece, and like the dogs. Like, we're going to go to the house, and like there's paddle boards and like there's a beach and a lake, and like it's just like a really, not remote, what's the word? It's like a small town kind of vibe. And I'm just really excited because I'm like, I actually have that freedom. So freedom is a word on here. I have that freedom to, you know, say, yep, cool, I can go from a Wednesday to Friday, and like I can come hang out and I can like bond with my family a little bit more and like do some different things, like maybe learn how to, pretty sure mum said there's a paddleboard there, like learn how to paddleboard and like hopefully the weather's warm enough, but like do these fun things and like just have a little bit of a break. Like I can absolutely still work while I'm there. Like my laptop comes with me everywhere, but it's that thing of like I can have a little bit more of a break and just have some time. Then another one of the trips is with like Mitch's parents again. They've just like gone to a holiday house. So like we're just going to go for a few days. They'll be there for longer, but we'll just go see them for a few days and then come back. And then Australia Day weekend, again, a very last minute like off. Again, I'm not going to say where because I don't need people to know where I'm going. But going away again, like just like with some friends and stuff. And yeah, just a small group. Like again, it's just like having that quote unquote freedom to do it, and not just in the sense of like cool, like I can just kind of like pack up my work and take it with me, but also that sense of like, you know, not constantly stressing about numbers and like, I want to make sure I'm hitting this session. Like I don't want to miss too many sessions, or, you know, I'm obviously going to be eating well, but it's like not stressing about like I need to hit X amount of calories or protein or anything like that, which last year I did a lot of that. Like if you've been following along my journey, my podcast, whatever, I don't think I spoke about it much in the podcast, but I did quite a few deficits last year. And I do feel amazing. But yeah, just kind of pulling back a little bit from the numbers so much, because obviously with the deficit, you need to be more like, not strict, but you need to be more, what's the word? Like pay more attention to the numbers than you do in like a maintenance phase. It's still important, but deficit, it's more important to do that. So that's my next thing, traveling, adventuring between March and April. I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trips in March and April, something like that. Like I've got a lot of trips. I've got, you know, some flights booked. I've got my sister's wedding in November overseas as well. There's a potential overseas trip planned for July. Like there's like, I'm like, this is what I wanted more of, and it's all happening. So I put a few photos for that. Like, you know, there's like obviously a plane with a nice view. There's a beach because I'm very much a let's have a summer holiday kind of vibe. So I've got that, like some cocktails, like me on the beach last year when I went to Whitehaven, like just like little things like that, like an ice cream and a Kindle. Like it's just like the wholesome things, like the things that I fully had so much joy in last year, and bringing more of that to this year. And I'm really excited. I just feel really fucking good about it. And then tying in with that is presence. So like I said, last year, I really was just go, go, go. I was like, I literally like every fucking day slipped by and I was like, what the hell? What have I done? What am I doing? And I really want to have more presence this year as well. So again, it's not even just that thing of like presence in like, you know, with my family, which I already do. Like you might notice I never really take photos with my family. I never really, when I'm with friends and stuff, I don't really like have my phone. Like I have it, but it's always in my pocket and it just seems like it's a kind of a natural thing for me. Like I never think to like whip out the phone and start like filming everything or like taking photos. Like I'll take little bits here and there, but it's never something that I'm like fully like, what's it called? Like on the phone with. I don't know. I just don't really do it because I'm just hanging out with them, if that makes sense, which is kind of it is why I do love this new camera I've got, because I'm like, I can take videos quickly or I can take photos quickly and I don't have to be on the phone. So I'm not distracted by notifications or, you know, Instagram messages or emails or client messages. Like I'm not distracted by other things. I'm like, I can still like, you know, document things, but be more present with it, if that makes sense. And just having more presence with like my partner and in like certain activities. Because again, I'm very quickly to be the one who'll be like, oh, I'm not doing anything right now. I'm just going to, you know, do some work, or well, usually it's do some work. It's either that or like reading on my own, like something like just like very on my own in my own space. Whereas I'm like, I would love to do more things with my partner. And, you know, I've literally put a photo of like, we've been doing these paintings, which is so random because we're just like not creatives. So like we've been doing these paint by numbers and I've got a photo of that on here, like, cause like we need to finish that. And then there's a few more we've got to do. And like, then we can hang it up in the apartment and like, just like, you know, having that time together and doing more things like that. So we've got a couple of things booked in. He's coming on some of the trips with me as well. So yeah, it's just like a lot of fun, things like that. So just having more presence in the day-to-day and just feeling more intentional with what I'm doing and when I'm doing it. So not thinking about like 10,000 things at once, which I am so guilty of. And I know so many of you will be as well. But it is that thing when you're so busy, you just want to be doing everything. Like I just want to smash out as much as I can. And it's so easy to try and do it all. And then you're not intentional. And then you get to the end of the day and you're like, what the fuck did I do today? And this is why I always have a list so I can go back and tick it off. Sometimes I'll write the list at the end of the day just so I can go, oh, yep, did that. Because I'm like, what did I even do today? And sometimes there is days like that where it feels like what you're doing isn't doing much, but it's actually moving the needle in some other kind of way, if that makes sense. So anyway, busy girls, busy brains. I know what we're all about. And I'm just trying to be more intentional with my life to try and be less busy in my brain, maybe a bit more meditation, a bit more groundedness this year. You know, just romanticizing little things like that. So yeah, sorry if you just heard me burp. I don't know if it came through in the microphone, but I just had a little burp. So I'm very sorry about that. And then going into more like client business kind of community focused things, I've put on here share more, and it's going to do with the podcast. So I remember on my 2024 vision board, I put share my voice. I've literally got it right here. I put share my voice, and there's like a photo of like a microphone and like a laptop, and then like a photo of a girl on a stage and stuff. And that was before I started my podcast, because that was in my head. I was like, that would be fun, but I still was like, no, like I probably won't do it, which I obviously ended up doing it. I think I launched October that year. And then my 2025 was called vision board. Oh my God, I just lost it. My 2025 vision board. So again, I had a different photo of a girl on a stage. And then I also had a photo of like a podcast studio. And I was like, I wrote podcast in studio and hold events. And now when I'm looking back, again, that was something I felt like, you know, to level up the podcast or to see this next level, I have to go into a studio. And I'm like, I really don't. Like, I can go, I do know this beautiful photographer. She has done many shoots of mine, and you can hire her studio. And I can go in and I can record if I wanted to, but I'm like, I can also just sit here and record from my apartment. Obviously I've got this new camera, so like things are leveling up in that way. Podcasting in a studio is so expensive as well. And I'm like, I can actually just do it myself. I don't need to be in a studio. I feel pretty comfortable in my desk chair, just sitting in my office. As much as the studio would be nice, maybe that's a one-day thing. But truthfully, when I did this vision board for last year, like a year ago, I was again putting things on there that like I thought I needed. Some of it is absolutely relevant, but some of it was like I thought I needed to do for the next level. Like I thought I had to achieve it in 2025. And now I'm like, it doesn't have to look like that. Like I always in my head go, it has to look a certain way, but it really, really doesn't. Like it really can be whatever you want it to be. And like I said, I'm really happy doing it this way, especially for now. So, you know, the photos on here to do the podcast, I literally just wrote share more. So it's not even just like me podcasting. Like I do want to hold more, like at least another podcast event this year. I think it'd be really cool. And I do want to level it up a little bit, which I've already got the plans in my head. But again, because I've done them before, I know what to do differently to make it better. But I also want to, you know, like have a bit more collaboration and, you know, share my voice more, get other people sharing their voice more, but also like share more in a sense of, you know, again, you know, quote unquote vlogs. If I end up, I've got to figure out like editing and stuff, share more of that, you know, on YouTube. So then it can be like, again, it's my memories, but like, it's just there. Sharing more, you know, potentially it's me going out of the podcast, sharing more in, you know, potentially me being invited to speak at an event. Like sharing more can be different things, but it is also a way of like sharing and impacting more. That's probably I probably should have put it that way. Impacting more, sharing more, just getting my voice out there, my message out there, and just doing as much as I can in that sense. So there's a photo of me at the podcast event I did last year, sitting there with my little microphone, and then a photo of me like holding you can't see it behind me, my Balancing Healthy frame, because then again, it's like, it's just the easiest way to be sharing, and that's kind of like the vibe for it of like me speaking publicly, and public speaking is terrifying, but I do think that it, like it's something that I want to do. So it's one of those things I'm just gonna have to get over that hump. And then the last kind of vibe on this vision board as well is to do with my community, and just not even my coaching community, but like communities in general. And I think like I've got a photo of a selfie of like me and some of the girls at one of our meetups. I've got the photo of my clients at our photo shoot we did last year, which was, I loved that. I'm like, I really want to do another one this year, but I've got to figure out when and where. And again, I'm trying not to rush everything. I'm trying to make it all kind of work. But I would love to do another one of those. I've got something in the works for my clients at the start of April, which I'm not going to share on the podcast yet because it's still in the works. I'm organising it with my event organiser. She's helping me do that. So, I mean, if I have spare spots, it'll go open to the public. But it is definitely a client first in, best dressed kind of situation. But that's going to be, it's something I've never done before. And it's going to be really pivotal in terms of like community and feeling like you belong and being able to share in real time, in real life with other humans that are on the same journey as you, had the same struggles, and just really understand it. Obviously, I'm going to be there too. I'm running it. And, you know, if you want to put two and two together, it's something that's going to be a couple of days long. Like you can have a little process with that in your brain, and you might be able to pick up what I'm putting down. But I'm really, really, really excited for that. So again, of course, more of my community. And there's this quote on here that I've had it every year. I've had this quote on my vision board, 2024, 2025, 2026. And it says, community is much more than belonging to something. It's about doing something together that makes belonging matter. And I'm like, I love it so much, which is why I put it on here every single year. Because it's so true. Like, it's not just like, oh, like, you know, you're a client, like you're in the community. It's like community of like I said, like making new friends, you know, having people that get you, understand you, and that can just really like, you can bounce ideas off, you can talk to. And like a lot of the times my clients, again, it's the community of like that tiny community of, a lot of them can say anything to anyone. Like I do a monthly meetup, which is amazing in person, but I also do a monthly call for the girls that, like for everyone obviously, but obviously I've got interstate. I've got interstate girlies as well that can't come to my Melbourne meetups every month. So it's that thing of like they get a chance to share as well. And it's just really beautiful, these calls that we have, because no one's ever too afraid to share anything. It's just this instant sense of comfort. Like, yes, I'm happy to share, like might be a bit nervous, but I'm happy to share it and talk about it, and like, let's bounce back and forth. And I think if you listen to these podcasts and you kind of feel like you could talk to me or like say something to me that you wouldn't really be too stressed about, it's that kind of vibe. Because obviously it's like the way I'm recording this podcast, kind of like I'm running a call, if that makes sense. So like it's me hosting it, running it. I don't know why I just do that to me. It's me hosting it, running it, and yeah, it's kind of like that same vibe. Like I just want everyone to feel really, really comfortable and like they belong and that they matter because everyone matters. And this journey is so much better doing it together than doing it alone. But yeah, so my kind of words I've got on this vision board, I was going to like show it on the camera, but you can't really see it. So like presence, balance, freedom, travel, adventure, community, sharing more. Like this is all done with intention rather than like, I should be doing this. So if you're not watching, that was quotation marks. I should be doing this, or I should, this is the next step and this is what I have to do to succeed and this is what it has to look like and this is how it has to be done. And like I said, like, yes, it is important to have goals. And I'm actually doing a call with my clients. My January monthly call with my clients is it next week? Yeah, next week, which is literally a goal setting call. But I've got them to do their vision board first as well. And I've got them to do it in the same way that I've done it, like really setting the intention, looking at how they feel rather than what they think they should be doing. How do they want to feel in 2026? Because again, I've spoken to them all over last year and there was this collective kind of like burnout at the end of the year. And I think if you're listening to this and you're thinking, you haven't done a vision board or you haven't done your goals or you're a bit put off by it or you're like, I just want to chill a bit more, like just know that it doesn't have to look stressful. It doesn't have to look number focused. It can be, let it be more intuitive and let it be led from your heart and let it be something that you want to feel and set a proper intention for. And then I think you will feel so much better, like the weight has been lifted, but you've still got that goal, if that makes sense. And like set it as your phone background, set it as your laptop background, print it and put it on your wall in your office or wherever you can kind of see your vision board every day. So again, it's just that reminder of like, for me, that reminder of like, remember to have some more presence, have some more balance, like have some more joy in the small things every single day, because that really is what life is all about. I always talk about life is too short to just waste it away. And I feel like whilst I didn't waste it away in 2025, I just wasn't as present as I could have been. So yeah, that's pretty much my vision board and how I'm setting the tone for 2026. I would love to know, how you guys felt listening to that. Is that a different perspective than you previously had on goal setting, vision boarding? Are you going to do yours differently? Like, have you already done yours? Like, what's your kind of vibe for the year? I usually do a word for the year. I just realized I haven't done an actual word because I always am like, I want a few words. Last year I put focus, which like it worked, but I think it worked too hard, if that makes sense. And for me this year, it's a mix of peace, presence, freedom, balance. They kind of all combine. I should pick one that kind of summarizes them all up, but they're kind of my words. Would love to know yours. Again, leave it in the comments below. Send me a DM on Instagram. Like, let's have a chat about it. Because like I said, I'm really, really feeling a good vibe for 2026. And if you're feeling it too, like, we should talk about it. So I'm going to wrap up this episode here. I didn't realize I've been going for 28 minutes. The other good thing about this filming on this camera, I can see how long I've been filming for. I know how long I've been talking for, and I can wrap it up so you guys don't have to hear me yap all day. But I think that is all I'm going to talk about. Let me just have a quick look at my notes. Yeah, cool. Doing more. Yeah. All right. I'm going to leave this here. Thank you guys so much for listening or watching, however you're consuming the podcast. Welcome to 2026. This is season 3. Like I said, I've got some exciting, I think they're exciting podcast episodes planned. I've got some guests that I want to bring on. But if you guys have any topics, requests, guests, whatever the thing may be, feel free to send me a message. Like I said, on DM, send me a DM or leave a comment below and I will absolutely get to it because this podcast is for you guys and I want to make it fun for you. So thank you so much for listening or watching, however you're consuming the podcast. Hope you have a beautiful day, night, morning, again, whatever you're doing, and I will speak to you in next week's episode. Bye.